everybody and welcome back to the channel. Hope that you are all well. I am a bit late to the party this month. I am just getting around to doing my completed pages video and I'm using a different phone and a different setup, so I really hope that this is going to work okay. So I've got a big pile of books here. I'm going to put them to one side and just go for it. So my first completed page is from Morgan O'Brien's A Floral colouring book, Btic Mouse, and I just need to find the page. Not that one. Oh yes, it was this one. It was this very cute sunflower page, which I really enjoyed. It was coloured with Arteza Everblend alcohol markers, which is my normal go-to for alcohol markers. I actually shaded it with Polychromos pencils, as that's what I had upstairs. Some Posca pen, or I think it was rather flicey acrylic markers to go around the edge of the flowers, and then I've got some Winsor & Newton on the bees, iridescent medium on the bees' wings, and I really like the vibrancy of that, and I just wanted a pink hat. So yeah, that is Btic Mouse, A Floral colouring book. That's the only one I did in that one this month. Then I got this, I think, for my birthday. Emanuel Coloriage Wild 2. And I did my first one in this one this month. So that went towards Lavella's Colour Your Hoard July 2024. What did I do this one with? I should have put this in order of how I wrote them down, but I didn't. Yeah, here we go. So I based this first with Inktense pencils for the hair, the hydrangeas, the leaves. Then I used Polychromos pencils for the skin, and I used Colouring Tutorial to do that. Then I used Posca pen, or rather acrylic paint markers, to go around the outside of the flowers. Then some Pentel Dual Hybrid, which is in the inside, tiny little dots on the inside of the flowers. Then I used Distress Oxides in a variety of different colours. It was a pink, a purple and a blue. And I did spray that. And then I did kind of square it off and put it in a square portrait, and I used some Pentel Dual Hybrid just to go around that little square. Really enjoyed that. I think it's really pretty, and I really enjoyed the freckles, which is a different vibe for me for the skin. But that was my first one in that book, and I really enjoyed it. That was Emanuel Coloriage Wild 2. Then I have a double page spread from A Million Unicorns by Lulu Mayo, and this was huge fun. It was this one. Just got to find where I did. Oh, here we go. So I based it all with Crayola Super Tips, pretty much, which I like to do in these books. Then I've got some Black Widow pencils to go and do the shading. Then I use Coliro watercolour paints on the turtle's little, underneath his kind of arms, and a bit on his shell here. I also use some in the mermaid's tails on these turtles. I also used some around the window frames. Then I've got Posca pen. I can't remember where I used the Posca pen. TBC silky crayons for the kind of bluey greeny background, and then I used some Stickles glitter glue just to give it a bit of glitter. I really like the way it turned out. It was a bit psychedelic for me when I was doing it, but it kind of all hangs together in a way. So yeah, that was really fun. I think that probably went towards Lulu Mayo's Scavenger Hunt, which is Colouring Bumblebee hashtag. So that was from A Million Unicorns by Lulu Mayo. Then another new book for me this month was Noise Therapy by Diane Dufour. And this was an adorable page. This just called to me for some reason. I think it was the sweet treats. I think that's what did it. Just what I could find. Sweets and Bear, yeah. So this was done with Brute Funa squares. I like them I like the Victories squares on this paper, and I've got the balls of fluff as well, and I like it on that paper. So Victories squares, Posca pens to go around a lot of the cakes and put some highlights on the cakes. Pentel Jewel Hybrid, can't tell you where I use those. Oh yeah, probably on this cake here. Chalk pastel in this pink in the middle, and I've then got a circle stencil and rubbed circles out. And there's also some galaxy glitter in that pink. Yeah, you can just about see that on the camera. And then I used some glossy accents on the cheesecake here as well. So yeah, that was just a really fun page, and I really enjoyed that as my first one in the book. Then another first for me this month was Christine Caron's Fairy and Fantasy 4. And I cannot remember what I did in here. Oh yes, I did this, and I had a wonderful time doing this. This was just amazing. I don't know why I chose this one as my first page in the book, but I just did. So this was Polychromos pencils for all of it. Posca pen, so that was probably, oh, I couldn't tell you where the Posca pen was. Probably in the water. TBC Silky crayons in the background. Oh yeah, there's lots of Posca in the background actually, all lots of white dots. Yeah, I think that's it actually. I just really like this picture. I like the colour of her hair, her skin went really, really well. Yeah, it was just really fun, really fabulous first page. Loved it. That was Fairy and Fantasy 4 by Christine Caron. Then we had Balls of Fluff, and I did part of Balls of Fluff Colourful Lavella 2024. I did the page that they were doing this month, and it was the woman in the swimming pool with her unicorn floaty. Here we are. So that's how I interpreted that page. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. So again, I used Victories squares for this. Posca pen, so that's on the unicorn, around the edge of the unicorn. Pentel Jewel Hybrid, that's on the swing costume. And there is some Enchanted shimmer on the water. And I just really liked this. It was really fun. I like the way I've done the fencing. Yeah, it just turned out how I envisioned, really. So yeah, that was good fun. Balls of Fluff. Then I have A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo, and this was a buddy colour with Colouring Bumblebee, and I will put hers here for you to see. She had a colour palette, really liked her colour palette, turned out really lovely, lovely and vibrant. And this one is mine. So I use Crayola Super Tip to base, which I really like. It just brings out the vibrancy of the colour. Black Widow pencils for shading. Artisan Metallic Watercolour is what is in the background. So I use like a dark blacky silver and then a more iridescent one here. And that's about all I can say. There's some acrylic paint pen to go around the flowers. Some Pentel Jewel Hybrid in the centre of the flowers. But yeah, I really enjoyed this page. Turned out really nicely. And the watercolour worked really well. Normally I get those little dots in this paper, but I didn't seem to get that this time. I don't know if it's just because I didn't use much water, and that's why it wasn't so bad. But yeah, really, really fun. So thank you, Colouring Bumblebee, for another wonderful buddy colour. Really enjoyed it. A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo. Then I did some ducks in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. And I did, I can't remember what they're called. I did a drake duck, and then I can't remember what the other one is called. I'm sure that you can tell me in the comments, but I did actually look it up as a reference picture. I can't find it. Where are the ducks? Here they are. Here we go. These are my ducks. So, Arteza Expert pencils, which is what I like to use in this book. Pentel Jewel Hybrid, that's definitely on this duck, and in the centre of the flower there, and in the eye there. Posca. Yeah, lots of Posca, like making dots and highlights. Then I used some glitterific in the water, in like a bluey, glittery colour. I had real fun with that. I didn't. In this book, I'm tending not. Oh, it's stuck together here. Really annoying. I need to be better at putting in my little grease-proof sheets. I think I've got a spare one. Yeah, I'm trying not to do too many intricate backgrounds in this book, and just trying to leave it plain. It's very difficult, but it does mean they are small victories. But I do like these. I do like this very much. So that was my ducks in Johanna Basford's Small Victories. Then we have a really fun page in Morgan O'Brien's Btic Mouse, a summer colouring book. And that was towards the back from what I remember. It was this one, which is so much fun. I love the colours. So Arteza Everblend alcohol markers. And I did actually use the blender pen on the alcohol markers that you get in the set. And it worked really well, actually. Then I used Arteza Expert pencils for shading. Pentel Dual Hybrid, that'd be in the bushes. Posca pen. I went round a lot of the greenery. I probably should have gone around the tree as well, but I didn't. And then the water's got some enchanted shimmer in it as well. So I really like the contrast of the oranges against the blue and the greens and the pink. Really fun page. Just gorgeous. Just love these little books. So yeah, that was Btic Mouse, Morgan O'Brien, a summer colouring book. Then we're getting towards some of my favourites for the month. I did an epic page in Rita Berman's Meine Reise durch Afrika, and it was the monkeys page, and oh my goodness, it was just so much fun. And it was this one. This was Arteza Expert pencils, Pentel Dual Hybrid, and lots of acrylic paint pen, and I will just hold it up. I love the vibrancy of this. I love the colour choices I've made. The leaves turned out better than I ever could have imagined. Little monkeys is just cute. I just love Rita Berman's work. And when you colour it, it just brings it all to life, and it's just amazing. And I even like my white flower down here as well. So yeah, I think that's my favourite page of the month, to be honest. I had a lot of fun with it. It did take me a few days, but I love the colour choices. I just love the way everything turned out, pretty much. So yeah, that was Rita Berman's Meine Reise durch Afrika. I need to do more in these travel books. I love them. Then Worlds of Wonder. And I cannot remember. Oh yes, I did a circle apparently. Circle, Worlds of Wonder. Oh yes, I remember now. Gosh, that was quite near the beginning of the month. And it was a page next to another page. So I did this one. And so I've got like a lovely green double page spread. So that was really fun. I think I used a lot of the colours to make them kind of match. Anyway, Polychromos pencils, which I really like in her books, and I don't use them often enough. Pentel Dual Hybrid, that was for a lot of the windows, probably the centre of the flowers. Glossy accent, so I used that on a lot of the windows. Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze, so that'd be on these bits of the roof. And Distress Oxide for the background, and I did spray that with water. And I don't think... Oh, I already had something on the back here. So normally I wouldn't do that in these books because it does bleed. But because I already had something in the back that was already black, I knew it was already going to be fine. So this book is filling up nicely. I've got quite a few pages done in here now. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was really good fun. And I put this brickwork, I added that myself. So I only added it to a few bits, but I added the brickwork myself because I wanted a bit more interest in the building. But yeah, that was really fun. And I did this bit at the bottom first, and then I used the colours that I used here up in the buildings at the top, so to kind of keep it cohesive. But I think that really worked. So yeah, that was Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford. So I did 2 Johanna Basfords this month. She's one of my featured artists for the year that I will always colour in once a month. Then I did, this is from Erie's Romantic Country, the third tale, and she's one of my featured artists for this year. I want to get better at colouring Erie pages. So this was Inktense base, pretty much all of it. I don't think I did the Inktense base for the sky. Black Widow pencils, which I really like using that over the top of Inktense. Posca pens, so I went around a lot of the trees, the wine bottles, things, and glass features. KJ Design by Karen was the watercolour, so that's on the gramophone. And Neocolour 2 for the sky. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Very detailed page, but I quite like the kind of colour choices I made, I think, and I like the way the graph turned out. So yeah, it was a good fun page. A little bit of shadowing on the black from the Neocolour 2, but nothing that I can't fix. So yeah, I'm getting better with Erie, I think. That was the third tale. Then Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. This was my last minute one for the month, I think. 11:14. Can't find her on my thing, but it was definitely a last minute thing. It was one at the beginning of the book. It was this one. And I really enjoyed the way this one turned out. I think this was Arteza Everblend alcohol markers. Definitely Polychromos pencils for the skin, because I've been experimenting a lot with skin tones, and I've got a tutorial now that works for me. And this was one of the darker ones that I used, but it still turned out well. Still looks like a skin tone to me. Then there's some Pentangle hybrid flowers. Because I've been watching the Olympics, I was very inspired by a French blue, white and red theme, hence this little kind of hint to that in the hair. There is some Calero watercolour for the moon, which give you this blue effect, and then there is also some of that on the wings as well. I really like the way that came together. Really good fun. The hair worked as well, which I was a bit worried about at the beginning. But yeah, that's my Enchanted Faces picture. So I think I only did one Hannah Lynn this month, but that's okay. I did one, and that's all I have to do. Because, again, she's one of my featured artists. And as I said in my mid-year freakout tag, I want to try and finish this book by the end of the year. And so I'll probably be doing more pages in this per month now in order to try and achieve that. I haven't worked out how many I've got left, but yeah. Then Circle of Life, had a blast with this one. This was the swan page with the bridge. It's this one. I love this page. Loved it. Where is it? This was Black Widow pencils, which work really well on this paper for me. Posca pens and Enchanted Shimmer. I had a lot of fun with Enchanted Shimmer, which was all over the water. But I love this. You can't fail to love Melpomeni's work. You just colour it and it just turns out wonderful every time. So yeah, I had a blast with this. I like the colour choices. I like the way the bridge turned out. I like the reflections of the ducks. Nothing not to like really about this page. Really enjoyed it. So, and then my final one, I will just put that back in there. I knew I had one in there. My final one, which was actually I think the first one I did for the month, was my whale picture from Imagimorphia. And again, Kirby is one of my want to get better at artists, so I have to do one every month. And it was this one, and I really enjoyed the way this one turned out. I used Inktense to base, which I like doing. Black Widow pencils, which work well for me. Then I used some metallic watercolour on like the kind of froth of the water. Acrylic paint pens, that was to go over a lot of the outlines of the fish. Chalk pastels was the orange and yellow in the background, and then some Stickles glitter glue, which is in like a goldy colour with some stars. And I really like the way the water turned out as well. So yeah, that was really good fun. I really enjoyed that page as well. I really enjoyed all of my colouring this month, I have to be honest. It was a really good month for me. There's some months I just feel, oh, I can't do it today, but I was more often than not like, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, it was a good month. So yeah, that was my pages for July. I have been a bit of a slow start for August for me, but I am getting there. And I look forward to sharing more videos in and through August. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.